an M4 rifle. Then once that task is complete, they're going to move up. This starts the lane. And this is all part of the process to increase the heart rate. You know, so everything's uphill. You know, they're moving under stress. At this point here, they're going to come under simulated gunfire. So they react to that. They're going to move, protect themselves, doing traditional combat moves and so forth. And then here, this is part of that artificial environment. Have 3 separate lanes. The grader will guide them to one specific direction. So they say they go up to lane 1. So here's where they come on, they'll get their first casualty. It'll be a live soldier simulating a amputee. They'll have to provide care under fire. The goal is that the grader says, okay, you've suppressed the gunfire. So they treat that casualty. And then he'll pick him up. And the casualty's going to hop a little bit so he can. Then he'll simulate that he gets tired. And then he'll go to a drag, and then he'll drag him up here. This is the meat and potatoes of this lane. They're going to spend about an hour right here. So as you see, for photography purposes, there's plenty of room for you to move and not be interfered in the process. So they'll treat these patients. There's be some good footage from the perspective. There'll be a soldier here that's going to simulate combat stress. That eventually have an eye injury and an arm injury. But these guys, the cadre, have done a phenomenal job. There's some good Academy Award winners out here, so you'll see it'll be fun.
Colonel, quick question for you. How many different stations are there here that they'll be going through?
Well, what we're walking through is one lane. I'm going to take you from start to finish what a candidate will see. The site is set up so that they can run 3 candidates at once, because it takes about an hour and 20 minutes from start to finish to get a candidate. They move it in a staggered fashion so that they can get everybody through. Because on day 1 they had 20-some candidates to get through. It took us all day to do that. So they had to basically duplicate the same lane. So once they come to here, there's going to be another casualty here, and these are going to do the different carries. There's called a 4-hand seat carrier. They'll team up with another site support, and they'll carry a wounded soldier, and then they'll move to a different type of carry. But that's part of the task, is doing these different buddy carries, they call them. Then the candidate moves up to here. From here, we'll load a what's a FLA? It's a field line ambulance. So they'll come up to the vehicle. They have to open it up. They have to know how to properly prep it and get it ready for patients. And then this is what I was telling you about yesterday as part of that artificial environment. They have some lane pop-ups and sandbags to simulate patient weight. And this cuts down on the site support.
So you were saying what they had to do yesterday at this point?
Right. Here they come in and assess the patients based on injury. They load them based on doctrinal concepts. The least critical to the most critical goes. The most critical goes on the bottom. So there's an order for that, because when this ambulance rolls up to a field hospital, the people at the field hospital know they need to pull off the bottom right first, and that's standard, so the bottom right needs to be the most critical. And this is a time task. They have, I believe it's 15 minutes to accomplish this. So, and that concludes the lane, and that takes, what we walk through in about 15 minutes takes them an hour, 25 minutes. So, and then there's three, we only have 2 ambulances out here, but there are 3 lanes, and they just share an ambulance for the purpose of it, because doesn't take as long. So they should be, our time to start seeing candidates was about 8:30. So someone can stay in this lane, or if you guys, I can take you through all the different lanes, and you can break up where you want. You'll probably get more, I should say, but you'll get a lot of your, you'll only get your medical, soldiers doing medical tasks on this lane. The rest are soldier skill tasks. So